Donald Trump has taken his crusade against the January 6th Select Committee to a whole new level this week by actually asking them to investigate Mike Pence for not overturning the results of the 2020 election. In a statement issued yesterday, Donald Trump had this to say. The unselect committee, hilarious, right, folks? Before I even continue, let's just take a moment to realize how hilarious it is that he calls them the unselect committee instead of the select committee. I mean, friggin' comedy gold here, folks. The unselect committee should be investigating why Nancy Pelosi did such a poor job of overseeing security and why Mike Pence did not send back the votes for recertification or approval, in that it has now been shown that he clearly had the right to do so. That's debatable, but more importantly, he didn't have the reasoning to do so. There was no evidence of fraud. I know you've liked to talk about it pretty much every time you speak for the last year and 3 months, but there was no widespread fraud. There was no indication of any kind of tampering of any kind with the voting systems, the online databases, and of course, most of the cases of fraud that have been confirmed in the handful of times we've found it, nearly all of it has been your supporters that did it. There's only one that I know of case of a Democrat trying to vote twice in the election. And of course, they got caught. So did all the other Trump people. But there was no reason for Pence to even do this. So why would the unselect committee want to even investigate that? You know what they do need to do, though? I think it's high time Mike Pence come in and sit down for an interview. Not just any interview. Let's have the committee make good on the promises they made earlier this year, which was to not only hold televised hearings, but they want to hold them in prime time. And that's what this should be. And I think this little memo from Donald Trump sent out on Tuesday, this should be the first thing they ask him, like, hey, Mike, Donald wants us to investigate you for not overturning the election. Let's start with that. Of course, Mike Pence admitted during a Fox News interview recently that he has not spoken to Donald Trump since the summer. So things between the two have definitely soured, and I can't imagine they're going to get any better now. Donald Trump is on a crusade not just against the Select Committee, but against Mike Pence himself. He has been very outspoken about that for the last few days, especially since he admitted on Sunday that he wanted Mike Pence to overturn the results of the election. And many experts believe that that is basically the smoking gun for the ongoing investigations into whether or not Donald Trump was essentially a part of a coup to overthrow the duly elected government of the United States. So, yeah, keep digging, buddy. You're already pretty deep in that hole you've created for yourself, and you just keep right on digging it deeper, right? Because that's what an idiot does. Donald Trump has no way out. He's panicked. He's scared. He doesn't know what's going to happen with the investigations with the Select Committee, with the ongoing investigation into the Trump Inaugural Committee in D.C., the investigation in Georgia, the investigations up in New York. The guy is up to his neck in legal problems, and he's starting to lash out. And what's interesting about this is that Maggie Haberman, writer for the New York Times, actually predicted that Trump's behavior would get far worse and more erratic a couple weeks ago, once all of this started breaking. She told us, buckle up, here it comes, and here it is. It is happening exactly as she predicted, because Donald Trump is an exceptionally predictable individual who is lashing out because he's scared. He doesn't know how to handle his emotions. He is essentially an emotional toddler because he hasn't learned how to process these feelings yet, because he's never had to. The guy has escaped accountability his entire life until now. The walls are closing in, so he's lashing out at anyone and everyone that he feels is responsible for the predicament that he is in today.